From the beginning, the idea was that we would go into a community and invite local key stakeholders and leaders to come together and collaboratively work on issues of young children. The idea here was that the community would stop, think about what is it that our young children need? What is it that our community needs? And to actually look at data and look at what was going on in the community and their kids.
When you have a collaborative, everybody comes to the table and you look at the situation, you have the information, the data. When something has to be done, we come together and we know who we can hand a family off to and where they'll get the services.
When I started 6 years ago, the Torrington Early Childhood Collaborative were 12 dedicated people around the table working very hard and diligently to find out where Torrington stood as far as early childhood. So we basically rolled up our sleeves, we had our data, we went through it all, and we wanted to find out what the story behind the data was.
A lot of the things that we found out, one was that a lot of children were not ready for kindergarten, or they were walking in the first day of school to register.
We couldn't find these parents. We didn't know where to go. We tried going out to the churches. We tried going out to standing out in front of the supermarket. But we were finding we were getting very little. Now, consequently, we had no idea the first day of school how many children and what their needs might be that were coming through our door. So it was a bit of a scramble, and usually took several weeks to get to know the students, get to know the families, understand what the family's particular needs were. Now students are starting school already with relationships with school people, with the system, with agencies throughout the city, long before they enter kindergarten.
The biggest thing we knew, we had to make parents aware of what services were out there, such as the Family Resource Center, what opportunities families had for early education opportunities. So we started small. The beginning years were more or less public awareness raising activities, data collection, and it just grew from there. Every time we did an event, we built more people onto it's almost like a train was rolling through our community, and we built more people as we moved along the tracks.
I could pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I need help with whatever, and somebody's there, no matter what happens. If I have a problem, if I know something's going on with the family, I can call someone and say, okay, where does this family need to go? What can we do to help this family?
A couple of years ago, we had an extended day program closed down like 2 days before school started that left about 37, children who were either entering kindergarten or older without child care. We sat down with 2 child care facilities in town, and we arranged it so that the children who were at these 2 schools could go to one place, and the children from 3 downtown schools could go to that place. Parents had the quality child care they needed. Their children could get to and from the school, their neighborhood school, or the school that the parents wanted them to attend. And we managed the transportation. So that kept, 30 plus families from worrying 2 days before school started, how will I get my child to school? When am I going to offer for daycare?
Along the way, we were able to tack into people that otherwise might not have had an interest in early childhood, like the business community, local funders. Today, I have to say, it's just blossomed into an awesome infrastructure in our community. Tech is actually looked upon as a place to go to for answers on early childhood and early care issues.
And the work that lies before us is great. It's an enormous task. But if you don't let that overwhelm you, we really should be challenging ourselves beyond what we see, beyond what's possible. Beyond even our abilities individually, right? To get into that realm of of hope, right? Faith and belief. And so we've set a very high bar.
Each town has its own characteristic, its own needs. It's like any family.
Everybody does not have to be the same. We don't need cookie cutter programs. And if we can figure out a way that some things can be the same, but other things can be different, it would be a wonderful, absolutely wonderful situation.
What I find most fascinating is the depth and breadth of attention and focus to early childhood in local communities. I mean, that is the thing that I just, every time I come away from a meeting in a community, I think, oh my gosh, we have to figure this out at the state because they've figured it out on the ground. And so how do we take so much of the good work that's going on and support that at the local level, and then try to figure out how we can make that work at the state level as well.